Hi Aries, hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you here are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Yes, hi Aries, how are you? I hope everyone is safe and well. First of all, let me thank you so much for all your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, and your beautiful comments. I so love your comments, and others do too. I love the community, the tribe that we got going on here, as well as over on Patreon as well. Thank you so much for being my patrons. We've got new additions over there, food for thought and conversations. In all honesty, these are additions to your readings, and also are my own experiences that I share over there, and they're supposed to like boost personal and spiritual growth. All right, my friends, if you are interested to check that out, links down in the description box below. I'm also currently available for private readings, also everything you need to know in the description box below. All right, if you would like to win the 20-minute free private reading with Spirit and myself, please simply comment that you would like to. Oh, nice. Whoa, they want to talk. Wow. Kind of leave them there too. Kind of organized. Have organized. Have organized. Okay. Thank you. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the private reading. 20-minute free private reading with Spirit and myself. And the winner of last month, October's reading, is Violet Poet. Congratulations, my love. It was my pleasure to read for you. And you'll always find who I read for down in the description box below. Okay, cool. One more. It's a general reading, Aries, so please only take what resonates and leave the rest behind, because that means it's for somebody else. It's not gender specific, nor is it time specific, and you can reverse the placements. Whenever the title of a message resonates with you, that could mean that you should check it out, and yeah, because there might be message in it for you, right? So just go with your gut feeling and with the title, not so much with the signs, not on this channel, okay? Good. Interesting. So we have semi-organized. Semi-organized. We have 3 cards that we can't see yet, and 2 cards that we do see. Of course, I already pre-shuffled all of your cards, Aries, and 2 guardian angel cards came out already, and they would like me to start off with the first card here, which is expression. Expression. The other card, by the way, I read in your extended. Express how you feel, clearly, lovingly, and honestly, without fear or judgment. Say it exactly like it is. All will be resolved when you express to others how you truly feel. Trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concerned. Self-expression is liberating and healing. Indeed it is. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. And we have right underneath this, we have a lot of orange, yellow, red here going on in these cards already, and you can't see that, but I'm posting the pictures over on Instagram at Universal Power Tarot if you're interested, which is also very interesting because I mostly post them a day prior to when the readings come out, so you can already have a look at them, what the reading means to you, and then come to this reading and be surprised or not surprised, right? Because you either already knew or there is addition to it, so that's quite helpful, the feedback that I'm getting. So yeah, if you would like to check it out, go ahead to Instagram. A lot of red, orange, and yellow, denoting to the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra. So these are all our connections to Mother Earth, to this realm. So there's a strong need. Often when this connection is a bit off, especially when they're saying like 3 chakras and the alignment they're off, then our connection to our mother can be kind of off, or could have been off, because the earth is our mother, right? And our connection, our groundedness to the earth, and that strong bond we feel, that primordial trust that we're just here, that we're just safe. And then comes in the expression here, right? So I see the Queen of Rods, which is semi-organized. Again, like I said, I see a lot of cards I don't see yet. Excuse me. And the Queen of Rods is exactly that. She's just standing in her power and glory. She's my free and wild hippie queen. So she's expressing what she's feeling, right? She's wild and free. She's just being herself, but more so through her actions, right? She's showing it through her actions. And if she speaks, it'll be very clear and very on point. She's also very warm-hearted and very, very loyal, right? Very committed to the ones around her, to the ones that she's taken care of. And then I see the Two of Rods. That's your very last tarot card here, which is assuming the higher perspective. And all of those, again, like it's strikingly, like when the sun is setting, almost like I can already feel like an Ace of Wands coming on. That's kind of like what it feels like, and it feels so warm, and I can definitely feel it in my solar plexus, like really go into those chakras of yours. We just recently created a new chakra meditation over on Universal Power Meditations. Links in the comment section below, okay, if you're interested to get those chakras aligned. Oh my God, your very first card is the Ace of Cups. Yes, so that's a love offer. You know, who to? To yourself, from yourself to yourself. That's incredible. That is a radical self-love, right? Offering that to yourself, because that's a yes to yourself, expressing yourself in your full honesty and in all your glory, Aries, is a yes to yourself, is a self-love, an act of self-love, okay? And that is so freeing. Oh my goodness. Like if you've ever done that before and really especially stood up to those that you thought that you couldn't stand up to because you just felt helpless or you felt like not heard, not appreciated. Oh my goodness, the moment you do this, because you feel finally strong enough to do so and you start to develop the courage and work that up and everything, it's incredibly freeing, incredibly freeing. And that's exactly what that is. And with that, this is the order that is coming in. It's not just semi-organized or let's just see how things go or we're not having a plan here in action. It's quite the plan. First of all, Spirit has quite the plan for you is what I'm feeling. But it's also you all of a sudden starting to understand, I cannot leave this like half-heartedly. If I want my life to be in order, and here's where the higher view comes in, and maybe a vision board or a plan for you, again, like a vision board is really helpful, then that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to take care of certain parts in your life step by step by step, and not just say my order and see how they go, but you really take it into your hands. Yeah, and you still show up as the Queen of Rods. That doesn't mean not being spontaneous or not leaving room for stuff to develop in between. It just means that you know your stuff and you're acting accordingly. And this feels really good, Aries, really good. Ah, I really love it. I just want to stay here. It's such a nice, nice energy. Wow. And it really makes me smile because that's, that love that you bring towards yourself is just heartwarming and lovely. So, so lovely. Oh my goodness. Yes, thank you, Aries, because you're radiating that out into the world too, right? And I can feel it, so thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, and that came with a price too. That came with a heavy price tag. Oh my goodness, the 10 of Wands, more wands. So that is feeling burdened. Exactly, it's right underneath the expression. Feeling burdened by the task, because this can be a lot. This can seem like a lot and feel like a lot when we finally start to look at the areas of our life that may not be how we want them to be. Again, the cards came out like maybe it's sort of okay, and it was sort of okay, but if you want great, then you need to do something about it, right? If you want great, and if you want that order, and if you want to achieve and go for what it is that you want, then you have to put in the work. There's no two ways about it. You do. Sorry, that's the way it is. And I didn't even make up the rules. I'm just telling you this is how it is, or this is how I perceive it, and you do with it what you want to do with it, right? These are nothing but mere suggestions, what worked for me, what I like own experience, and what I see, what I perceive. But it looks like here you were really burdened by this, and all the responsibility that comes with that all of a sudden with, yes, you are fully and completely responsible for yourself. No one's going to come save you here. No one's going to express for you miraculously that this and that is how you perceive the world. You're going to have to do this yourself. But again, the freedom that comes with it and the courage you acquire along the way to finally work that up for yourself is incredible and so, so good. So, so good. Oh, wow. You have the Page of Cups, which is a messenger of love. And I'm just trying to figure out, it's not a person is what they're saying. No. It could be it could be a child that we're talking about here. But we could also be talking very much so, oh yeah, about your inner child. So this is, like I said, remember the very beginning when I said solar plexus, this is our portal to our inner identities. So there is an inner child of yours, and we have many, 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 trapped in many situations of the past often, that wants to feel that acknowledgement, that wants to express themselves to you. And for you to hear them, because there are many tears surrounding that. And that's also has to do directly tying into you being burdened, because those parts of ourselves that are trapped somewhere in the past is often where we left our power, but also something that is really putting the brakes on and really making us feel burdened. And we can try so much as we want on the outside, because that's often a false conception that we have to try to rearrange something on the outside. It's just not lasting, because we have that inner saboteur in us, that self-sabotage kind of a thing. But that only happens because we haven't looked at that part yet. So that part goes a bit rogue, right? And is really just to make themselves known. And when we look at that part of ourselves, it then, and accept it too, it then starts to transform and dissolve into something else, and is no longer sabotaging your pursuit of happiness here and your pursuit of self-love, but instead is integrated. Yes. Yes. And it's just there with you. And that is exactly what you do. You embrace that part with all the emotions. It's much like when you're listening to children and they're telling you something. I'm always so happy when my son comes to me and expresses something to me that he didn't like, or that how he sees the world, because, and that, to be able to express that is so important, because then he feels heard, and then he can go about his day instead of seeing this part of himself as not being okay. Like, for example, seeing anger, like him being angry, as not okay, which it is totally. It is. When I'm angry too, and that is okay. And it took a long time for me to understand and to see that how important that is, because then you can move on, and it's not a part of yourself, oh my God, that is being shamed, that is being abandoned, but integrated, really integrated, because you stopped shaming that part of yourself, and you're then pulling it in, and that's so gorgeous. And you're starting to really, and like I told you with the Two of Wands, you're really starting to come into that place and see it from that perspective. And that also means that you're kind of distancing yourself from, this is interesting, okay, I hope I can express it in a proper way. You also start to distancing yourself from the emotions. So whenever you have those emotions, they won't come over you like a wave crashing down, right? Because it can give us feelings of being afraid, of feelings of, I want to run away from this, because it's like it wasn't accepted. Shame is not a nice thing to feel, right? Nor is guilt or fear or whatever else, anger, right? But when you are in that place, and when you reach that place of maturity when it comes to the emotional world, you'll rather feel a sense of detachment. And that doesn't mean you're not feeling the emotions anymore. It just means you have a little bit more room in between. You're not fully in just that moment, but you are able to expand yourself and be like, oh, it's almost like witnessing yourself a bit and feeling at the same time, because you know it's not like your whole self that is feeling shameful or that is feeling angry. It's just a part of yourself that's crying out for, hey, I'm here, right? So, and you know this, and you feel so safe as you go through those processes, because you can almost watch yourself from a little bit of a distance, and you can always, and this is where you're going, which is amazing, Aries, you can watch yourself from a higher perspective at all times, which is incredible, right? When you reach that point of, I want to call it detachment, although again, I hope I'm expressing it properly, because you're still in there in the emotions, but you have a little bit of distance to it, and that buffer makes them so much more smooth to work through. That's it. I hope I'm expressing it properly. really smooth to work through. It's much different. It's such a different thing when you're in, or let's take a really strong emotion like despair and hopelessness, right? When you're really in it, it's just that one point. But when you have the ability to zoom out, you see like the full picture at all times. Also, when you're feeling feelings of despair, and they won't prolong, because what you persist or what you resist will persist, right? It'll be prolonged if we try to push it away, because it'll hold us back. It'll be there as this emotion, as this thing that we would really like to push away, when really, when we're able to just see that and be like, oh wow, yeah, let's feel that feeling, let's sit in that feeling, you'll be so surprised how fast this is turning around, and how fast it just needed to be cried out. It just needed to be felt in that moment, especially when you have that a little bit of that higher view coming in. It's a completely different ball game, completely different, and those will no longer hold you back, but you're working with them. And this is, again, radical self-love. I love it, Aries. Really cool. Really cool. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Ooh, yes. All right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly it. Exactly, yeah. Okay, got enough. Oh, there's two surprise. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Haha, yes. Okay, wow. All right, guys, we won't be able to interpret all of the cards I just drew, but we'll start interpreting here for sure. Wow, so cool. Okay, so now, naturally, as you're going through those processes, you will be healing with the Seven of Stones, right? And look at this part of yourself. Like, this is where the past is staying where it belongs, in the past, right? Because you've gotten everything you needed out of it. So that easily just falls away, and you're levitating and staying in that space of, well, with yourself, really, right? With yourself, truly. And that also is that you won't, whenever something happens, you always have that place to come back to. And that's not something that's externally, it's always within you. And that is so comforting and reassuring and extremely empowering when you're in that place. And when you always know you have that place to come home to, which is yourself. And that is also that love offered to yourself, right? You just know, I am my own home. Like, my body is my home. It's not on the external world. Wow, Aries, this is big. This is a huge step in consciousness, right? Huge step. Yeah, and here we have the throat. Throat again, right? Throat chakra. No, not again, but that actually came out in the Pisces reading. Yeah, coming full circle. She wears something like a snake belt, is what I see this today. So this is really like reminding me of the Wheel of Fortune, where the snake, where one cycle comes to a close and the new one is starting, right? And no matter the circumstances, always knowing that you are the one you can come home to. Always. And again, making peace with the past. Because you already retrieved those lost parts of yourself at that point, where the gifts you already retrieved, because that's the gift, those parts of yourself, and bringing them into full acceptance and full love and fully, oh, it feels so good. It's incredible, right? Really cool. All right, Aries, we're going to interpret the rest of the cards over on Vimeo and Patreon. So if you need advice on how to go about it, like with your situation, if this resonated with you, that is, then your first go-to would be the extended, because Spirit always gives advice what your next step is here. If that's not enough for you, you can always reach out for a private reading, which will indeed really go into detail and what you need on your specific personal journey, how you can move forward best. Okay, so if you're interested in that, Everything you need to know is in the caption box down below. And I'll either see you over on Vimeo or Patreon for your extended, or I'll see you next time. I hope this was helpful, guys. Much love. Bye.